Okay guys, so I'm at Aston Martin Kuala Lumpur and my test car today, it's the V8 Vantage. So picking up the car here from Aston Martin KL. Weather is very hot, very severe sunlight, so I'm going to do the walk around later. Right now I'm just going to step in and get the car started. Let's hit the road. Okay guys, so I'm just rolling out from Aston Martin KL and this is the first speed bump going over. Okay, it's a bit firm. Alright, so before we get onto the serious business of driving, let's recite some facts. This is the V8 Vantage, and like all Aston Martins, head to toe, this car is built by hand. Some of the things are of course with the assistance of machines. All right, like these stitchings, for example, you see all these stitchings here, right? It's not hand sewn up, but it is with a machine that is operated by. Okay, wait, I need to go and see whether it is sewn by a machine that is operated by a human. So all throughout this car, there is a significant amount of human touch to it. That's why, right, as I made this point during the Superleggera walk around earlier, when you buy an Aston Martin, you are not just buying all the parts that make up the car. You are also paying for the man hours of all those sifus putting their time and their expertise to put this together. All right, you are paying for craftsmanship. That's what you are paying for, right? And so yeah, I mean, typically as consumers, we still are very weak in grasping the idea of paying people for their time, for their experience, for their workmanship. But really, that is what you get in an Aston Martin, and that is how this car derives its value. Because just now I was told this car with tax is about 1.7 million ringgit. All right, but if you look at the tax-free price, means that if you register this car in Langkawi, you are paying 700,000 ringgit. Now let me ask you this lah. If I were to give you 700,000 ringgit, will you be able to put together a car of this quality? I don't think so, no? So I think 700,000 for this kind of car, this kind of craftsmanship, excellent value. Now, the other interesting point about this car is that it runs a V8, and this is a very well-known V8 because it's not an Aston Martin in-house V8, but the block comes from Mercedes-AMG. All right, of course, this is not it is the same engine block as you get in the AMG GT, in the E63, and all these guys. But I was also told that Aston Martin has put their own turbochargers, their own ECU, their own exhaust system. All right, so this engine is built by Mercedes-AMG, but it gets some unique Aston Martin hardware and software. Now, also there are also a few other signs that this car has of Mercedes bits, like the infotainment system, for example. Very clear, is very familiar if you have come from a Mercedes. The signal stock also is a Mercedes signal stock. There are a few switch gears here that obviously have come from Mercedes, but still, it's not something that really to berate this car for, right? Certainly, right, where Aston Martin is concerned, because they've spent all their resources and their know-how on how to put this car on all their craftsmanship, right? They have not really honed their game on, you know, all the electronic visitree and all that, and certainly I don't blame them for sourcing their infotainment system from Mercedes, and in fact I think it is a very smart move. So coming back to the 4-litre V8, why did Aston Martin choose the AMG 4-litre V8? Now, the story that I was told was that why did Aston Martin choose the V8? It is because AMG has that one man, one engine philosophy. So it still jives back to Aston Martin's philosophy and practice of having as much human element and human input as possible in building their cars. Yeah, so that is what you get with the Vantage V8 here. And right now I'm still negotiating heavy KL traffic, and I'll check back again with you guys once the road has cleared. Alright guys, so here we are with the V8 Vantage, right? Aston Martin V8 Vantage. So earlier on I made a slight error. This car's base price is not 1.7, it is 1.6 million ringgit, 700,000 ringgit thereabouts before taxes. All right, so but once you spec out all the various options, right, that's when you hit 1.7, maybe even 1.8 easy. So styling wise, this is typically Aston Martin lah. They don't let you down with their styling, but this front end, they have done a bit of changes here with the front end. The taillights are slimmer, okay, and they have moved that Aston Martin, you know, that iconic Aston Martin shaped grille downwards all the way to hug the lower splitter, right, the lower front splitter. And it's overall actually the front end is actually a very aggressive yet a very clean design. And look at it, they actually, Aston Martin is actually giving you no less than six front parking sensors. So not a difficult car, not meant to be a difficult car to drive at all. All right, it has its amenities. It also has 360-degree camera. All right, you can see from the side, the side mirror there. Let me see, where's the front camera? The front camera is here. All right, here at the side here you can see aggressive wheels, 20-inch wheels. Inside there slotted disc brakes with the bright red Aston Martin caliper. Look at this vent, it's metal, okay, knock, it's metal. This is fiber, right? And you can see the lower side skirt there also as well, very aggressive. Here, this door handle, which you press this in and pull out. All right, one thing about Aston Martins, as I've mentioned in our previous Aston Martin videos, is that, see, when you open the door hinge swings upwards. All right, so that means that you get very good clearance at the side when you park this next to a curb. Okay, I'll demonstrate more clearly on this side where I'm parked next to a curb and I open the door. Okay, so you can see that's the ground clearance right there, and the door actually swings up and avoids the curb at the side. Very, very nice. And here we get to see the nice stitching. Now all these color combos, they are highly customizable, but this car quite nicely appointed. All right, from the screen here you see that this color and this color actually matches, but in reality, from where I'm seeing in real life, this yellow is actually slightly paler than this shade of yellow. This is a brighter shade of yellow in person. This is a slightly less bright, a slightly paler shade. All right, and we'll explore the interior later lah. We'll come to the back first. Okay, once again, very aggressive yet very clean design. No unnecessary vents here. All right, nowadays, right, all these supercar segments, they are filled with very aggressive vents, but Aston Martin has still kept the Vantage design very clean. All right, they have gotten a bit they've gotten a bit aggressive here with the lower bumper diffusers, but still overall very tastefully done, very tastefully executed. Just that I'll probably remove this Aston Martin wording here. This badge alone should actually be sufficient to identify the brand of this car anyways. So to open the boot, so under here, boot space big enough for two cabin size suitcases, I would say. Good enough for a 2-day 1-night outstation trip if you so fancy. And this grab handle here, nicely finished in leather for you to pull and close the boot. Right, now something here that I discovered. So underneath the license plate, at the license plate area, right, you see this is the reverse camera, right? This is the reverse camera, and this is the slot. Okay, this is the for you to charge the battery. So let's say what I mean is that Aston Martins, you know, many Aston Martins are not used as daily drivers, so they can be parked at the owner's garage for weeks without being started. This here is for you to plug a cable to keep your battery charged, all right, so that, you know, you can start the car, let's say, like, even if you leave it idle for 2 weeks. Very nice. It's magnetically attached, so, and it doesn't interfere with the closing of the boot and all that. The with the DBS Superleggera we previewed the other day, this was hidden nicely, all right, in the part of where you have to open the boot lid to access it, and then you get to close the boot lid without any interference, all right. So that's the exterior of the Aston Martin of the V8 Vantage, which I would say is very beautifully designed. All right, it's beautifully designed, but without too many fussy details. So you see, right, the shape of this car is very aggressive. You won't mistaken it for as a car that's lacking in sporting intent, but it is also very clean design. There are no unnecessary details, no fussy details, no unnecessary really aggressive vents there. All right, so it still maintains its status, its DNA as a very gentleman's brand. Now let's open the engine bay. So you see here the Mercedes-AMG built 4-liter V8, all right, with unique Aston Martin turbochargers, ECU and exhaust. So when you rev this, you still get a very distinctive engine note that you don't get when you're driving an AMG GT or an E63. All right, you have this little plug here, final inspection by Rafał Walaszek. All right, and the thing is that they haven't covered everything. They still leave some elements of the engine exposed, some wiring exposed, which I would say it still preserves the car's analog-ish character, if you like. All right, it's yeah, it still shows you some of the things that make it a car. Now we explore the interior. So this one, you press this to pull, open up. So the door here, okay, like this door handle, it's an arrow-shaped door handle. Okay, nice. And the seat adjustment controls are here, and well, these infotainment controls need no introduction, lah. Right, and we'll step inside and start the car. Engine start button here. Okay. So you can see the what you call it, the infotainment system. This is obviously Mercedes software, and down here, let me adjust the steering wheel up so you can see. Those of you Mercedes owners will find these to be very familiar, but the instrument cluster is unique. That is another sign of Mercedes software underneath. But still, as I said earlier, right, there is absolutely nothing wrong with using Mercedes software, because Aston Martin is a brand that is more focused on these finer details. All right, it's more these finer details, you know, these materials, this alignment of gaps here, this kind of thing, special materials. They are focused on making you feel special in the car. They are not really, their efforts and expertise are not really on coding software. Right, that's the kind of thing they have very wisely decided to just leave it to the pros. And yeah, so here we have it. Okay, we've got 12-volt socket here. So all these spaces here nicely finished with leather. This one is also a very nice touch. Nice seats. No sunroof, but honestly, why would you want a sunroof when you have materials like, when you can instead enjoy materials like this? This is beautiful. This is lovely. All right, this whole switchgear assembly here, well, it is quite laden with buttons. It can be daunting to navigate at first time, but it adds to the, I would say it contributes to the atmosphere of giving this cabin a very technical feel. All right, and see here, this is proper metal and it feels properly heavy. All right, when you tow it, it's substantial. It feels substantial inside. Okay, yeah. So overall, yeah, they have outsourced this, all the codings, all the software codings in here, but they have put an extraordinary amount of effort in building, all right, all the physical elements that make up this car. See, look at this. This sunshade just feels expensive. All right, look at the chrome hinge here. Then this piece is also made of leather. Usually it's plastic, and it slides with very, very beautiful smoothness. Okay, yeah. So even you see the screen, this outside surround here is leather, and this panel here, right? This is a leather panel, and it has this layer here. All right, that's layers. So lovely. This is a lovely place to be in. And look at this for attention to detail. This little pad here, okay, this little pad here is in case when you corner too hard. This pad here allows you to cushion your knee as you brace yourself around the bend. Very nice touch. All right. And what surprised me to learn is that this is what Aston Martin considers a track-focused car, yet it is still lavishly equipped inside. Equipment levels of this car is very, very good. All right, for what is claimed to be a track-focused car. And later on, yep, as I will tell you in the driving driving recordings, this car is brilliant to drive on the road. All right, so I've driven the Vantage here for a few kilometers now, and quite a number of interesting observations. So when in my first few kilometers, right, I observed that the rider is a bit firm. You know, it is somewhat firmer than the G20 3 Series, but not as firm as another example would be the Civic FD2 Type R. All right, so it is in between there, but still, it is okay, because the thing is that you understand that this is an Aston Martin, it's a sports car kind of thing. So it is that after you drive, I was like, okay lah. Actually, it is firm, but it is a kind of firmness that you can live with, knowing the performance potential of this car as well as its dynamics. All right, and then my friend who is off camera here tells me that actually this is a track-focused car. Then I went from okay to this is impressive, because for a track-focused car to achieve this kind of ride comfort is quite amazing. This kind of ride comfort, this kind of rolling refinement, on the move refinement, because like right now I am accelerating at 70 kilometers. I'm driving at 70 kilometers per hour, very, very moderate speeds. Earlier I was doing about 100 plus on the highways. Now I noticed that there was some wind noise coming in from the pillars, but once again understandable because frameless doors, so there inevitably will be some degree of wind noise. All right, and that is also not the kind of focus that you would get from a car like this. But once you say that, oh, this car is meant to take for track, right, then from that context, the refinement and comfort levels of this car is just outright amazing. In fact, and also the responses of the controls of this car is that you can use this car on a day-to-day basis and not feel tired. This is not at all a tiring car to drive. Many performance cars are, right, you have the sharp throttles, sharp brakes and all that. So yes, it's nice. It's, you know, when you take it on a, say, a Toge run or an Uluyam, or it's very fun, it's very exciting. But when you take this to downtown KL and suffer the traffic jam of Jalan Sultan Ismail, good luck. This one, well, I drove through Jalan Sultan Ismail just now and I figured, hey, it's okay, it is usable. But, and still, all that being said, the engine still roars like an Aston Martin. It still does. Now let me just wait for a stretch of road to clear before I demonstrate that again. But oh, okay, hear that? That is just a hint of it. And now, okay, still not a safe spot to fully gun this thing. Yeah, but overall, yeah, for a track-focused car, I am thoroughly impressed by what it has to offer. And when you consider the fact that Aston Martin is only taking 700,000 ringgit from building this, hey, this is... I'm starting to wonder if they're undercharging us or not. Okay, now traffic is still quite heavy around me. But see, that is where this car really impresses me, because for a track-focused car, right, it is so stress-free to drive, you know. It is so undemanding to drive in day-to-day conditions. Now, I have no doubts that if they were to unleash us in Sepang, this car would do very well. Alright, but what really impresses me is, despite that focus, that aspect of their focus, they have made it to be just about usable. It's easy, it's so easy to drive. And let's see, the road is clearing. Oh, see, got blind spot warning some more. Okay. Listen to that! I mean, yes, it's an AMG V8 up front, but tell me this. Does AMG make a bad V8? They don't. So this AMG V8 earns its place in an Aston Martin on merit. Now, the other aspect of an Aston Martin's appeal is this. You see, right? If you were to spend an equivalent money on a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, chances are you will end up with a faster car. You will end up with a car that will lap Sepang faster. But will these cars have the same kind of civil road manners that this Aston Martin has, even in track-focused format? I don't think so. This is what I would say a track car that if suddenly, right, let's say like one day I wake up in the morning, 10 a.m, my stomach itchy, I want to go Ipoh, eat chicken rice. Bam! I shoot up to Ipoh, have my chicken rice, and then by 3 p.m, I'm back in KL, no fuss. That is the kind of usability that this car has to offer. Hey, wait, sorry, wrong road. Lovely, just lovely. And I'm not even more than half throttle, not even pressing the throttle more than halfway, yet it is still so effortlessly quick. And the soundtrack of the engine makes you feel so alive driving this car. So yeah, if I were to have spent money on this car, it doesn't matter to me that your Ferrari or your Lamborghini is faster. This car gives me sense of occasion. It gives me that sense of occasion. And I know for a fact that the money I paid, alright, is not just going to a collection of parts, you know, to maintain all the production robots in the factory. The money that I'm paying for this car, the money that you rich people pay for this car, it is going to the living of craftspeople who painstakingly put their heart and soul and accept and and put everything together in this car. The soul of this car. That is what you are buying with an Aston Martin. And really, this car has a very analog kind of feel, right? It feels connected to you. Lovely, man. This really is a track car that you can use every day. You can use this every day.